to center field. Way back. Pucker up. Kiss that baby goodbye over the center field wall. A monumental return to victory for LSU as Jared Jones smashes his 14th home run of the year. And this place is going nuts. LSU wins it with a 6-run comeback in the ninth.
How about those Tigers? We welcome you to another edition of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports Radio. Hello, everybody. Getting ready to churn towards the end of April. Actually, taping today on Tuesday, April the 29th. Hope everybody doing well. And you Tiger fans ought to be just as excited as can be, satisfied as can be. LSU women's softball and men's baseball both doing the same thing in the final games of their series, ruling the Tiger baseballers after that incredible 6-run ninth inning with Bear and a 3-run dinger, 452 feet over the batter's eye in center field to give LSU the 6-3 win. Then on Sunday, they come back, start Case and Evans, take care of business, rule Tennessee 12-2, and let's give Beth Torina a little positive pub today on this Tuesday afternoon as they came back after getting ruled by Florida, nipped the Lady Gators 2-1 on Sunday, and they played Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week as they ruled the Lady Gators 10-2 in softball. You only need 8 to rule them. In baseball, you need 10. And as always, your host, Buddy Songy, here on a Tuesday afternoon. We've got a lot to recap. We've got the NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders, we're going to give you a crying towel if you are Mel Kiper and any part of his family. Probably one of the most embarrassing ESPN draft segments and days and coverage. We'll get into all of that. JP on the other side of the glass going to give you the expert analysis of what the Saints obviously did in the draft. And look, Kelvin Banks, I got that one right. Thought they would go offensive line. A lot of people thought they'd go edge. And then, of course, as always, plenty of other sports, including LSU football, picking up a D lineman, Bernard Gooden, a D tackle from UCF in the portal. And as always, in case you missed it, Kim Mulkey bringing in a flamboyant, explosive offensive machine, Malaysia Fulwiley, who is going to join Michaela Williams and Flau'jae Johnson. You had the 3 divas last year. You lose Anissa Morrow. Now you bring Fulwiley, who comes in from South Carolina. If that's not going to spice up that rivalry, of course, you can't say it's a rivalry until LSU beats them. The Lady Gamecocks have beaten LSU women a ton of times, I think 16 consecutive. But Fulwiley in the house for the Lady Tigers. I don't think they're finished. Men's basketball has done a good job in the portal, still waiting for another possible point guard. And, of course, as we know, we're getting here into the summer months. And as always, couldn't do it without our producer, our co-host, really the straw that stirs the drink over here, along with Marty, right here at Pelican Sports TV. The one and only JP, Jonathan Poche. What's up, Coach?
Great to see you, Bud, man. Happy to be back here on Tigers Roar. Happy to have you all along with us. Don't forget, I should say, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. All the Tigers Roars archived right there for your viewing pleasure, along with everything else we do here at the Pelicans. So go check it out. If you haven't done so already, click the like, the subscribe, and the notification button so you get alerted every time we post something new right there at Pelican Sports' YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A lot on the docket for this show, Bud, man. Lots of tape. We'll hear from Derek Curiel, the phenomenal freshman for LSU. I'll also hear from Case and Evans after he started against Tennessee on Sunday. We'll recap that baseball series. It was outstanding for LSU. Such a special feeling for those fans that were able to go to the game, even for those that stayed awake until 1:35 in the morning to watch Bear Jones hit that walk-off home run. Of course, 2 walk-offs this weekend. Luis Hernandez also walked it off for a 10-run rule on Sunday. So a great weekend of baseball. You talked about softball. You talked about spring football. Add a new defensive lineman. We'll also hear from Coach Jay Johnson himself after the Sunday win, wrapping up the series against Tennessee. And you talked about it. Shador Sanders in the fall. That was the biggest story in the country over the draft weekend. And we'll talk about how the job the Saints did of Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore, and the need that the Saints had to fill a bunch of different spots. And didn't want the Saints to take a quarterback at 9, and thankfully they did not. Wasn't a lot of trades. Saints didn't trade up or down, which is very unlike them in the draft. But pretty happy with the draft picks. We'll talk about them later on this program. And happy to have you along with us here on Tigers Roar.
Yeah, good stuff. Of course, Will Campbell and 6 other Tigers get drafted. Campbell going number 4 to New England. I know the Pats fan always wants a skilled player, a flashy guy. Will Campbell is what you see is what you get. And, JP, your take on all of the Tigers. Happy that all of them went. There were 5 other Tigers who went with undrafted free agent deals, really pulling for Josh Williams to make it with Tampa Bay. Look, I'm no GQ. You see me looking rough again on this Tuesday morning. With a little brown and purple. I had the brown and orange, but I told some Tennessee fans I'll wear orange on Scarborough's YouTube show Wednesday night and on TV Tuesday. If, in fact, Tennessee wins, let's jump right into it. Man, that first night, I'm going to admit to you something, folks. I'm an honest shooter. And this might have happened to many of you out there. But, JP, long weekend, and once again, another rain delay. In South Louisiana and really around the SEC, there are a lot of rain and lightning issues, which means delay. And let's give a big shout-out to those Tiger fans. They waited 3.5 hours. First, it was going to start at 6:30, then 7. Then they were hoping for 9. 9:55 first pitch. Doesn't end until after 1:20. By the time the celebration was over, it was 1:30 plus. But a big, big weekend for both men and the baseball team and women and the softball team because, JP, when's the last time you remember 2 out of 3, both those clubs, but run ruling Tennessee 12-2 and then run ruling Florida 10-2. It couldn't get any better. But, man, I got to be honest with you. At 1:45, Friday night, actually going into Saturday morning, I'm sitting there, and I'm being honest here, folks. It's 2-0. My eyes are starting to droop. I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't. I thought they'd lose that game 3-0, 2-0, whatever. Lo and behold, I go to sleep and then wake up early in the morning and find out they won 6-3. JP, did you make it all the way to the end, or you're like me, you couldn't make it and you crashed in the 8th inning?
Nah, sadly, bud, man, I couldn't make it to the end, and I tried. And that game was tough to watch at times. Baseball is like a gambler, a junkie for gamblers. Yeah, it's so boring until the last inning when it explodes for 6 runs and LSU takes the lead. A half-full stadium, to say the least, for Tigers, but they were certainly loud at the end. What a special experience for those young guys, the freshmen that come in. They've always got to play in front of these fans, and you have to go through some adversity to build that bond as a team, and you could tell. Those guys were absolutely juiced up for Bear. I don't know if you saw Bud, man, but on SEC Network, they asked Bear Jones on Sunday, what did you say to the umpire? What was the exchange? Well, he said, I hit the ball so far, I stood there and watched it, and the umpire told me to start running. I told him, hey, man, the game's over. Relax, the game's over. Called this shot. Absolutely loved it. I actually woke up to everybody screaming. That's how you know the Tiger fans were absolutely loud at the very end. Woke up, Bear Jones celebrated. They ripped the shirt off. A great scene for all these young guys that came to LSU for this exact reason. This is why you go. You play at 1:35 after a 4-hour rain delay in front of, 7,000 drunk fans who give you everything they have. And, it was very special. Happy for those young men. Happy for Bear Jones, the leader of the team. It was his spot. Derek Curiel, who I said on this show after the first game of the season was going to be very special for the Tigers, continues to set the table each and every game, giving good at-bats. He ties the game up with a rope to right field, and then you knew it was going to happen. I mean, the poetry was on the wall. Bear Jones lifts one. You said it. For a 452 over his batter's eye. It was way gone, and they told the umpire, hey, bro, the game's over. Relax. I loved it.
Joe Harris was the home plate umpire. You've heard me call out Jeff Head. You've heard me call out other umpires. JP, it's just hit and miss. Now, when LSU had Alabama in here a couple of weeks ago, I thought Alabama got the badge. But here we go. Yeah. Joe Harris behind the plate right out of the gate. Going to give you some highlights. Man, Cade and Liam, the two starting pitchers for LSU and Tennessee, as good as it gets for the first 6 innings. That was fantastic ball. Both lefties bringing it 95 to 98 and throwing strikes, JP.
Yeah, it was a defensive battle throughout the whole game, Cade Anderson. I didn't want him to get another loss in the season, but, man, I predicted after the first loss they wouldn't have another one on the season. And so far the Tigers have certainly helped him out with some run support. Just had to wait a little while to get at this game.
And, of course, as we know, Cade Anderson is the guy that is draft eligible. He's old enough to leave after his sophomore year. Guess who else is eligible for the draft next year, JP?
Who's that?
Derek Coryell. So enjoy Derek Coryell for 2 years. That's all you're going to have him. But here we go. This is game one. Tennessee finally comes in, and this is where they're scoring their 2 runs, go up 2-0. Then they add another run, 3-0. And then, as we know, JP, a lot of highlights. Hey, let's give a shout-out to Dalton Beck, who got a 2-run single. I don't remember him ever hitting this year. And also give a shout-out to Coryell, a 2-out single to get the 3rd run in and tie it in. Everybody thinks, okay, they could go extra innings here. And lo and behold, Bear with the walk-off.
Yeah, and here you go. Tanner Reeves draws a walk, and this brings up Beck, who does a great job. Stays on the ball, nose down, hits it right back up the middle where it was pitched. Great swing on the ball, line drive, didn't try to do too much. And that's the thing. All these LSU hitters know how talented this team is. They just try to get the ball to the next guy. They just want the next guy to come up into the plate. And, yeah, so
look
Beck
at that crowd, JP. Look at those people. They were believing. I've said this many times. The most loyal fans of all LSU sports, LSU baseball. And here we go. Once again, as the Tigers, I guess, had tied it up right there, huh?
Yeah, that was the hit by Coryell to tie it, and we'll see Bear Jones come up next. It's going to be tough to see him run around the bases. This is the kind of the in-the-stands view. The fans go absolutely crazy, so it's kind of tough to see. But I just want to get you a feel of the environment that night of when Bear Jones hit this ball.
Watch this umpire, folks. Well, we don't see it because now we're following the baseball, but Joe Harris was right up Jared Jones' butt saying, come on, giddy up, like a horse, and the Bear says, chill out. This game's over, bruh. And I'm getting sick and tired of these umpires. It seems like all of them have trouble with their wives and relationships because they need so much attention, JP.
Right. They want to be on TV. Of course, the game has to be about them, involve them in some way. Get that screen time for the umpire. We'll move on to the highlights to Game 3 for LSU. Not too many with this one. We'll see the Braswell home run. 2 homers for Braswell this weekend, but, man, starting to come around.
He did this last year. He led LSU in hitting last year. Here we go, Coryell, and after the streak was broken, his consecutive game streak of getting on base was broken on Saturday. He comes out with 4 for 4, 5 RBI, and open up the game on Sunday with a solo shot to open up the LSU offense and post a number. A 1 number, and, of course, it got bigger very quickly.
Yeah, leadoff guy gets a home run. It gives the whole offense juice. Hitting is contagious. If your leadoff guy hits one over the yard, you kind of think, hey, we're going to have a good day. And LSU certainly proved that. Good pitching from Casey Evans. Can't say enough about the freshman. Had a tough first inning, gave a couple runs, but then was scoreless throughout his 85-pitch outing. So Coach Jay Johnson showed a lot of confidence in the freshman, and you see why. His stuff is absolutely electric, and he just has that it factor that everybody talks about.
Chris Stanfield, we haven't talked enough about Chris Stanfield, but he kind of reminded me of Braswell last year when we kept waiting for him to fail and he started getting hotter and hotter. I think Braswell's been fantastic all year long, along with some great defensive plays. But, man, I got to like it when Braswell starts getting hot. He did the same thing last year, JP. He got hot, and he also started to hit the long ball. So maybe he's just a slow starter.
Yeah, and we did see him come around, especially in that SEC tournament, namely against South Carolina last year, the team that he transferred into. But here's the thing. You have to leave this weekend thinking that LSU is one of the top 8 teams in the nation. I know they've had some ups and downs on offense. They started at the beginning of the season. I think they won like 26 in a row. They look like the best offensive team in the country. They were scoring 10, 12 runs a game. They finally kind of started to get back into that, and all it took was that one late-game heroics. So you never know, what's going to be the turning point of a season. LSU obviously very talented. But these kids believe now. I mean, you beat Tennessee Volunteers at your home. in the fashion that they did. They walked it off with a 10-run rule on Sunday. Lots of confidence going into tonight's game against Southeastern. I did see the Lions play a Tulane down at Turchin down in New Orleans. Southeastern's a good team. They're going to put pressure on LSU. It's going to be a good test. Just keep that momentum flowing towards the weekend. Texas A&M had an awful start to the season, Bud, man, but they've shown some signs of life here of late. So LSU can't stumble. Keep this momentum rolling.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. Word from some of our great sponsors. Don't forget, you can always pick up that Manda sausage and products when you go out to the box at Tiger Park. Tiger Park had senior weekend, so they're done for the year. Hopefully they're going to host a regional, and obviously LSU expecting to host a regional. But will they host a super regional? The next 3 weeks will tell you that answer. We come back with another edition after this timeout, picking it up with more with Jay Johnson and others on a Tuesday edition of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Anchored by the performance and reliability of the Civic and Accord, Honda has once again been named the best car brand for the 4th year running by U.S. News & World Report. Come see the lineup of award-winning Hondas at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
All right, folks, we welcome you back. Hope everybody had a great Easter and brought it in the right way, a blessed Easter. Of course, Jonathan Poche on the other side of the glass. Buddy Songy in here. Great weekend to recap. JP, comments before we get into Jay Johnson post-game after Game 3. And then, of course, we're going to let you hear from Derek Curiel and Kason Evans, 2 phenomenal freshmen. I'll ask you the question that everybody's got on their mind. It's kind of a no-brainer, but do you expect Kason Evans to get the ball in Game 3 against A&M? Oh, by the way, this weekend, folks, at A&M, 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. Plus, there is a probability of rain. 2 o'clock on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday, and, of course, tonight, Southeastern, 6:30. All 4 games this week, JP, on the SEC Network. Plus, if you don't know how to stream, call one of your grandkids.
Right, yep, man. And to answer your question about Case and Evans, I really don't know. It's going to depend on how the weekend plays out. The arm is too valuable no matter where you put him in. If it's late in the game, to set up, to close, or to start. And it really just depends on how the Friday and Saturday games go, I believe. Same thing with this past weekend. I don't think that Jay Johnson knew going into the series on Thursday that Casey Neville was going to be a Sunday starter. Like I said, too valuable an arm to lock him into one spot. And I haven't given up on Chase Shores either. I mean, a valuable arm, throws a lot of strikes. He was getting hit around a little bit, had a little trouble with some control, but not ready to turn the page on him. But Casey Evans, can't talk enough about the job he did after the start, getting up 2 runs to Tennessee in a game that decided the series. This guy buckled down, made an adjustment on the mound, which that's all pitching is. All pitching is about making adjustments in your own head. You're not going to always have a coach come out there and walk out and tell you exactly what to do. He understood that he got hit a little bit up in the zone, so he made an adjustment, and he worked down to the next 7 hitters and did a fantastic job. I thought he could have went a little more than 85 pitches, but with his role so far with the team, I completely understand Jay Johnson's thought process, and I fully trust Coach Jay Johnson and Nate Yeskie. It was kind of a feeling out period with Nate Yeskie and the Tiger fans, but I think everybody pretty much trusts Coach Nate at this point. And they've really been locked in and keyed in, bringing in pinch hitter to hit home runs. It seems to happen every other game. John Pearson, the latest example. Jake Brown, who absolutely scorched a ball on Sunday. Bomb that almost got out of the whole stadium. So I have confidence. I can't answer if Casey Evans will be the starter on Sunday, but he has a great shot because that guy's stuff is electric.
Last question before we go to tape. We're going to let you hear from Jay Johnson after the big win on Sunday when they ruled Tennessee. Also, Derek Curiel and Casey Evans. So they moved all the way back up to number 2. The crazy thing that I think about that, JP, is that after the Saturday game, everybody that I talked to, Tiger fans, were talking about the importance of winning that 3rd game on Sunday and winning the series. But if they lose that series, they're probably 10.
Right.
If they win that series, they're 2. Don't take these polls serious. It's more important with RPI, where you finish in the SEC. Oh, by the way, in case you've forgotten, it's single elimination. All 16 teams are in the tournament this year, which I think certainly leaves a lot to be desired. Most people think it should have been 12. But, hey, they get a double bye if they're in the top 4. So if they continue to win 2 out of 3 every weekend, that won't be a problem. But I agree with your answer. It's just crazy to try to ascertain and predict at this point what's gonna be. You still have confidence in Chase Shores. I've lost some confidence in him simply because of his inability to come in and throw strikes. And he continues to get squeezed. And then when you hit too much of the black of the plate, even though it's coming in at 97, 98, if there's not enough movement, it goes over the wall, JP.
No, the harder you throw it, the harder it gets hit. I mean, exit velos have been tracked for like 10 years now, and that's been proven. I think that Chase Shores, electric stuff, but you mentioned it, and I talked about it too. The control, walking batters will kill you, especially leadoff walks, and unfortunately for Chase Shores, that has plagued him this season. What a gift, what a luxury it is for you to take a true freshman that's been playing in the bullpen and just give him an opportunity to start. And then he goes and throws 85 pitches against one of the best teams in the country, one of the deepest lineups in the country, and absolutely shut him down outside of that first inning. And, you talk about the arms in the back end, the young guys. You can pick any of them, and they all come with electric stuff. But all I know, Budman, after this past weekend is you have to be relieved at the Tiger fans that Tony Vitello and these Vols didn't come into your home and beat you up after a super long rain delay. Your team came out kind of asleep after watching the draft for 3 hours before you play. Get the job done, and then walk it off with the 10-run rule on a Sunday. You have to be riding high right now as an LSU Tiger baseball fan.
Here we go. Going to let you hear from Jay Johnson, and then following up with Derek Curiel and, of course, Casey Evans, 2 freshman phenoms. Here's the coach after the big win on Sunday.
And offensively, was it really nice to see those 12 runs today? What was kind of the key to really bust it out?
Yeah, I think this team, early in the year set a bar so high for really good offensive baseball, and the consistency of it was what was impressive to me, and we're always searching for better as we're going along. I think relative to today, I thought we played in what I would call our best character, loose, free, confident, aggressive, with a good plan. And then I think I like several things about it. Obviously, Derek, that was a great start to the game, especially after giving up 2 in the first. And then that was the only one we got, but we put some pressure on them. And then in the second, good swing by Luis. It was great to have him have a good day today. And then we didn't get the guy in again from third. And then, they make the pitching change to try to match up, and he does exactly what he needs to do and got that run in. And I think everybody just kind of relaxed a little bit when we did that. And that's very natural. When you're going through something, then they walk Jared, and then they go to Tegan Kuhns, who's one of the best freshmen in the country in terms of talent. And, 96 mile an hour ride fastball. We felt like we had a pretty good report and plan on him, and Jake got it really good right there. That was one of the swings of the year, just in my opinion, of doing what you needed to do against the pitcher you were facing, and then positively impacting the game. And then I really liked how we continued to add on, as the game went along. And it wasn't like the last swing was a big swing for, a couple runs there. But, solo homer by Michael. We got 2 guys on, really good at bats again by Michael and Luis, execute a bunt with Chris, Derek, line drive up the middle. So I thought it was just a real complete game today, against really good arms. I mean, the one guy that threw Friday night, he was up to 100 Friday night, and, we did a good job against him today. And, forced them, past maybe some of the guys they want to go to. And when you have good hitting teams, and this happens sometimes, that can really help you, and just a good performance all the way around.
What did you say to Case and Evans after that first inning, getting behind, and then going scoreless for the rest of his outing? He's one guy you don't have to say a whole lot to. Again, it's a really good team, really good offense, lineup length, just about as good as anybody. Old hitters, good hitting coach with Josh Elander, so they were prepared, and. He took a bump in the first. They actually had a pitch they knew was coming, the second RBI, and we got that fixed. It was a very odd situation how that happened. And then we were able to get out of that with a 2 was a big deal because there was 2 guys in scoring position. So to me, the coach in me, that's what I'm proud of, is like, okay, he gave up 2, but then how about the rest of the game? And really just try to manage his emotional deal, because he runs hot in the best way possible as far as competitiveness. And I just, he was in such a good place pitch count-wise because he was getting quick outs. But mentally, you want to make sure he stays in a good place. And he's got the it factor. Those 2 are special. They're really special. I know there's been some great players that have come through this place, and at least for the starting points of their career, they're up there.
Just how valuable is it that you can have a guy like Case and pitch only 10, 11 pitches one weekend and get you a complete save, and then come back and throw 85 in a starting role? Just the versatility there.
It's awesome, and we've put ourselves in a decent spot, and part of it was you don't have a lot of guys that have been through this, and so you need to win games when you have a chance to win games, and he's been a big part of that. Missouri, 7-6. Then Mississippi State 2-1. He finished that one off. Oklahoma, I think we ran him for 3 against Oklahoma to finish the second game to clinch a series against a great team on the road. We couldn't get the lead at Auburn, unfortunately, in any of the games. And then last weekend, was it Alabama? I already forgot. He finished out a tight one there, and a good comeback win. And so you add up the totality of that, and then look at where all those teams are in the RPI. That's a pretty big impact. And then just with the amount of innings we needed to cover against a really good offense, I just went into the weekend, going like, hey, this could be what we're going to do. If we would have tied or had the lead last night as the home team, we would have done it, but we couldn't do it unless we were tied or ahead because of the volume he needed to cover today. So really proud of him, and that's where he'll be. Whether that's next weekend, I don't know, because like I said, we've put ourselves in a pretty good spot, and so we need to keep executing wins as they come along. He obviously is going to need probably an extra day because of going 85 pitches, so we'll see, and we'll go from there.
Jay, just kind of
Eric Sorensen. Let's go. Give me a hug. Come on.
Let's go. Let's do it, brother. Good to see you, man.
Crazy Californians, so.
Work with me on this one. I think the last time I saw Derek Curiel play was at the Area Code Games a couple years ago. Little skinny high school kid. Well, he's still kind of skinny, I guess. But what have you seen from him? I know it's still just his freshman year, but what have you seen from him just in the past few months?
Mental and emotional maturity and stability. The baseball skills are easy to see, Once we got him committed, and this is a guy that 7th grade I was talking to at Arizona, you know what I mean? So I knew the player was there, and then go to the area code games, and he's running balls in the gap, and it really became, okay, if he becomes physically strong or physically mature before that draft happens as a senior, it's going to be almost an impossible keep because you don't see players of his skill set. He has put on, about 15 pounds or so, 17 pounds. I believe he looks better, stronger than when he showed up here. And then just that mental and emotional stability has allowed him to transition that talent into skill on the biggest stage in college baseball. And there ain't nobody we want at the plate more than that guy, right now.
So Michael Braswell hit his first homer of the season last night, and then he hit another homer today. What have you kind of seen from him? Had a really big weekend out of Braswell.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. It was a great weekend out of Michael, and I think the at-bats have just continually gotten better as we've gone along in the season. He got off to a little bit of a slow start. Defense has never wavered. To have 2 shortstops on the left side of the infield is a really big plus for our team. I think defense was a key in us winning the series, and but offensively, in the midst of us, not maybe being at our peak for a little bit of time here, he's one guy that has just kept taking really good at-bats and kept working, and it's just like you could tell there's nothing else going on. He's competing in the moment and, playing his best baseball of his career, really right now, and proud of him for that.
Was a very festive post game, and the media having a little fun. JP, it's kind of hard not to pull for LSU when you have that kind of weekend. Once again, going to give another shout out to Beth Tureen. I got a couple of media buddies that have been beating her up a little bit, but she out-coached Tim Walton of Florida and came back. And so 2 out of 3 with 2 run rules, Sunday with the baseball team and Monday last night with the softball team. Pretty darn good. Of course, the lefty, Jaden Heavner, has done some good things, but Sydney Berzon is back on and found her pitch and her confidence, and good to have the weekend. But now we've got to let everybody hear from Derek Curiel and Kason Evans. And right now, even at this point, JP, I'll predict it. You're going to rubber stamp it. Both of these kids will make freshman All-American this year.
100%, Bud, man. LSU has the best freshman class in the nation. You can book it right now. Argue with your mom about it because I don't want to hear it. Too talented in a bullpen, behind the plate, and then Curiel. LSU, best freshman class in the country.
Tennessee fans, get a grip. You come over here thinking you're one of the best programs in the country. You are for the last 3 years. But LSU's got 7 natties, and you've got 1. Here are the 2 freshman stars, Curiel and Evans, on a Tuesday edition of Tigers Roar, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it wasn't really in my mind. Obviously, I knew about it. My teammates told me about it, but I just attacked today, just like any other day, and was looking to win the series, and we did that. And I'm just so proud of our team. Shows what we can really do, and this is good momentum going forward.
Do you think that? When did you kind of feel it'd be a special day for you guys offensively? Just consistent pressure, 6 of 8 innings, y'all were able to score in today, back to what y'all were doing 3-4 weeks ago. Very consistent pressure. Just when did it kind of feel like it was clicking for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're always super confident. We always think it's going to be a great day on offense. Obviously, today the scoreboard showed that, and we just take it pitch by pitch, inning by inning, at bat by at bat, and we just stuck to our plan. We executed it well today, and we're going to look to do that more often. Obviously, we've been in a little slump these last couple of games, but we're going to pick it back up, and there's no better time than right now, so it's great.
Does that give you guys like a confidence boost, knowing that you guys are back in your rhythm offensively after struggling for a couple games? For sure, yeah. I think everyone in this locker room knows what we're capable of, and we're always super confident. Obviously, the scoreboard sometimes doesn't dictate that, but us as a group, we never lose faith in each other, and the coaching staff shows us full support, and Coach Johnson's done a great job these past 2 weeks, obviously, past 3 weeks kind of, because obviously we haven't been playing to the best of our ability, but he's the best coach in America, and there's no other coach I'd rather play for, and that's the reason I came to LSU, and he's exemplified that, especially these past 3 weeks, because, I mean, I think as a person, you really know who they are, like when times are tough, not when everything's going good, when we won 26 in a row or whatever it was. Obviously, every coach would be great, but in these past 3 weeks, he's coached his butt off, and I think all of us in the locker room respect that. And we're just super happy we can play for LSU, play for a coach like him, and for these amazing fans.
How does he coach his butt off?
I mean, he says he sleeps. I don't think he does. He probably sleeps maybe 3 hours. He's always here. Coach Jordan, Coach Simpson, Chief, Jamie, they all coach their butt off. Coach Yetzke, obviously, they're here all the time, and just the effort and the practice plans that we execute every day, and just the game plans, the scouting they do on the other teams. Just there's so much that goes into it that people don't see, and it just makes it easy to play for a coach like that and a staff like this.
Do you sleep? He says you text him at like 11, midnight. So do you sleep?
I do sleep. I actually sleep a lot. I sleep a little bit later in the day. I'm a napper, so I like napping after practice or before games, after games. But I do sleep.
Did you nap during the weather delay on Friday?
I actually didn't. We were watching the draft. We were all having a good time in there. We were just waiting for Shedeur Sanders to get picked. So we were all, with every pick, Michael Braswell wanted him to get picked. So we were just in there having a good time. It was fun.
What made those balls so easy to see tonight to get those like really powerful hits off of them?
I think I just went back to my roots. Obviously, kind of struggled the past 2 games, and it's a great team. Obviously, great pitchers on the other side, but I'm always in control of my at bats, and I felt like I let that get away from me a little bit, no matter how great or how bad a pitcher is. It's baseball; you can get out, and I just felt like I got out of my plan, and I just wasn't sticking to what I like to do is hit the ball in the middle of the field. I was kind of trying to pull my shoulder, and there's just some mechanic stuff and some mental things that I had to fix coming into today, and obviously glory to God, he helped me, and I just have my family here. It was great to have my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and my girlfriend here. They meant the world to me, and also our great family friends, Mr. and Mrs. Frankel. It was great just to have my family support here, and that really helped me today, to be honest, just because I wanted to put on a show for them, obviously, but I also wanted to help my team win, so it was great.
Kason Evans has really been integral for you guys as a reliever, but today as a starter, just how much faith did you have in him, especially being a fellow freshman with you guys, and he had a great outing? So much faith. Kason Evans is the best freshman pitcher in America. I think you guys can see that, whether it's out of the pen, whether it's starting. He's just a great dude, a great teammate. We've been great friends since we met here in the summer, and he just dominates, and he has that it factor about him. And in the outfit, I love it. He works at a great pace, and we just have all the confidence in the world in him. And I know he has confidence in himself, and the coaches can see that, and he's just done a great job.
Part of your preparation different today since you were starting?
No, I'd say it's all the same. Same warm-up, same everything. I got to the field a little later because I didn't need to do as much before the game. But same warm-up, just different situation.
When did you know you were going to start this game?
last night after the game, Coach Johnston said since I didn't go in yesterday that I'd be starting today.
How did it feel pitching in a atmosphere like that, a game of that magnitude? It's probably one of the more important games y'all will play this entire season. Just to go out there and get the 6 innings after maybe a rough start in the first, but to bounce back and really give them 5-0s there. The rest, how did that just whole thing feel? Yeah,
it was an amazing experience. I mean, never experienced anything like that. I think the closest was probably Mississippi State, fan-wise, but just being able to go out there and control my breathing and control my body, I think was the biggest thing for me.
Bouncing back after that first inning, what do you kind of tell yourself in the dugout between the first and the second? Because, I mean, really from there, you were very sharp and nothing really kind of phased you. Just what was that mental, I guess, discussion with yourself about?
Yeah, it was just I got to keep the ball down in the zone. That was it. There was a couple pitches I made mistakes on, and they got some hard hit balls, which led to the 2 runs in the first inning. So going back out there the next inning, I was like, I'm going to throw everything down because that's their weak spot. So that was the main goal, and it went pretty well after that.
With the performance you had and the performance Derek had today, just how good is this freshman class really, and now it's being shown on full display?
I think we're really good. I think we're one of the best in the country, and kind of known that since we all got here. Everybody that's here right now was here pretty much in the summer, except for maybe 1 or 2. So knowing who we had coming into the season and finally showing what our abilities are, I think it's a big thing, and we just need to keep it rolling.
Do you feel like you got more comfortable with your off-speed stuff as the game went along?
I feel like I was comfortable with it in the first inning, but it just started playing better. I mean, they took some good swings early on, and then later on it was just once I started throwing more strikes, it just started playing better.
What was how surprised were you when he told you were going to start? I mean, that's not a lot of notice just last night,
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty surprised. He had told me before the game, he said, if we don't bring you in today, then you're going to start tomorrow. So when he told me that, I was still mentally ready for yesterday's game, coming in and closing if we had the chance to. But I was pretty surprised knowing that he has that faith in me to start today.
How did Coach Johnson and Coach Yeski kind of prepare you for the moment today?
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, especially with all the staff. Mentally, I mean, we talked to Carlene, and she's kind of like the backbone of our mental game. So having her and being able to contact her whenever is great. But Coach Johnson and Coach Yeski they just told me it's just another game. It's just I'm being put in a different spot and just go out there and kind of close the first inning and then move from there.
Tennessee.
LSU lucky to have both Derek Curiel and Kason Evans on this LSU baseball roster. They are fantastic. The $64 million question on a Tuesday. Does Kason Evans get the baseball on Sunday against Texas A&M in a starting role? Quick timeout, make up a break, and we come back with more. Give you a little Saints talk when we come back right here on a Tuesday edition of Tigers Roar with Buddy Songy and Jonathan Poche right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Tremonti's has meat, Tremonti's has seafood, Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters, huge wine and liquor selection, beer and all the spices you need, Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats, ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs, 20 flavors of sausage for the grill, daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From the sportiness of the Mazda MX-5 to the engaging ride of the Mazda CX-5 to the luxury of the Mazda CX-90. Move and be moved in your new Mazda while saving thousands at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Treads and Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads and Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads and Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads and Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
All right, gave you a bunch of baseball and softball. Now we get into our favorite topic, and that is football. Once again, in case you missed it, Bernard Gooden, a D lineman from UCF, the latest to come in from the transfer portal, 6'1", 280, quick first step, going to give some depth to Jacoby and Gilry, obviously Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley, and others. JP, Saints picks, we'll put them up on the screen, and as we do that, I want your personal grade. And look, I'm not going to harp on Mel Kiper and all the other stuff, but holy cow, I could not watch him after the first day, JP.
He was having a panic attack, Bud, man. Shedeur Sanders, he thought, was the second best player overall. Ridiculous. We'll show you the Saints picks real quick, Bud, man. Then we'll get to it. Starting with number one right here, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle, 6'5", 315, out of Texas. He was the Outland Trophy winner. He was also the Lombardi Trophy winner, a team captain at Texas. Started all 42 games of his college career at left tackle. He was consensus all-5-star recruit out of high school. And he also contributed to the Texas Longhorns making that college playoff last season. I give this pick an A+. Saints now have a bookend on that line. Obviously, Trevor Penning was trying to step up for Ryan Bramchak last year. Couldn't do it. He's not the guy to fill in that right tackle. So likely to see Banks play left tackle. Talisi Fuaga will shift over to right tackle most likely. But Mickey Loomis says they just want to play the best 5 offensive linemen. I give this pick an A, Bud, man.
No doubt about it. And, of course, everybody knows Ryan Ramczyk, even though he was the right tackle, did retire. So I thought it was an excellent pick. And then, of course, the news with the Saints at the second round, the 40th pick. JP, you and I texted a little bit. There was so much talk about Shedeur Sanders. I never thought they were going to go that way. But this Louisville quarterback, the tape I've seen, talking about, of course, Mr. Shuck, what's your take on this?
I like the pick, Bug, man. I did not want the Saints to take a quarterback at 9. If they were thinking that, I wanted them to trade down. Jackson Dart was hot on a lot of people's boards, especially for the Saints. He got drafted early in the second round. The New York Giants traded back up in to get him. But this kid is prototypical. 6'4", 215, probably plays closer to 220. Huge arm talent. Did struggle with injury. Now, we're not talking about regular injuries to quarterback. This man broke his collarbone and broke his fibula in his leg, so he had 2 seasons completely derailed. This guy's 26 years old. This guy's the last quarterback that will ever be drafted that was born in the 1990s. Kid was born in 1999. He's the last kid you'll ever see drafted that was born in 1999. Okay,
Yeah.
So he has a lot of experience, played 7 years at college, had stops at Oregon, Texas Tech, and then at Louisville. And all he did was produce when he was healthy. He had over 3,000 yards last year, had 23 touchdowns. It was an outstanding job, not only in his pocket presence, but he throws the ball at all kinds of different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kept showing that one highlight from the combine when the ball was sailed. He tried to pull the no-look sidearm, Patrick Mahomes. It was a terrible throw. But we're going to show y'all in a little bit some good throws from Tyler Shuck and why you should give him a chance to try to see this pick through. Look, if it doesn't work out as a second-round pick, that's fine. You draft again early next season because Saints aren't going to be that good regardless. But, yeah, I like the pick, but, man, I'll give it a solid B+.
Then you got a big D lineman from Texas, and you always need help on the D line. And of course, Bo Davis coming over from Texas with the Saints staff had to have some input here. JP.
Yeah, 6'5", 320 pounds. Started 15 games last year for Texas. Of course, Bo Davis got on the phone with him, called him chicken legs, and they were laughing about it. So, good relationship with Bo Davis. Obviously, we know Coach Bo Davis from LSU last season. But this is a former top 80 national recruit. He was a key player on Texas' defensive line who was very good. And, yeah, he's going to contribute right away. Big man in the middle, and Saints need help up front.
All right, tell me about the 4th and 5th picks by the Saints.
Well, Jonas Sanker, the safety out of Virginia, I thought was one of the best tackling DBs in this draft. He also team captain his senior year for Virginia. And look, the Saints like these character guys. They like these team captain types, guys they don't have to worry about being on Bourbon Street late at night, being in the bars. They like the high character guys. First team All ACC, was 2-time selection. And, but, man, I like the pick, especially in that 3rd round.
Of course, Danny Stutzman is an excellent linebacker. I remember when Harold Perkins was asked at Media Day by the Oklahoma media about, do you know anything about this guy? And Perkins was going like, no, I don't know anything about it. But, look, he does have a little trouble getting off some blocks when he gets tangled up inside. But I think he's a solid contributor and expect him to make the football team at one of the linebacker spots. Even if he doesn't start, he'll be on the roster in year 1, in my opinion.
Oh, I completely agree with you, bud, man. 6'3", 233. The guy had 3-year starter. He was a 2-time All-American at Oklahoma. 3 straight seasons with over 100 tackles, bud, man. So the productivity is there. I love the pick in the 4th round. Add some depth to that linebacker room, especially with Pete Warner and Demario Davis. Warner injury-prone and Davis so getting up there in age. So, good pick. I like Stutzman. He can run sideline to sideline. He's going to have great depth to that linebacker room.
The DB went in the 3rd round. Stutson goes in the 4th round. Another 4th-round pick. JP, give us a skinny on him.
Yeah, another guy out of Louisville, 5'11", 195. Lots of speed. Kind of built like Poche the Debo. Of course, that's the guy who's hopefully is going to replace. Did play inside and outside for the Cardinals in 2024 and 22 to 24. Played multiple positions. Transfer from Middle Tennessee to Louisville. Got a bigger program, faced better competition. Needs help in in zone coverage, but very fast, good man-to-man guy, and hopefully he can find a spot either inside in this nickel or outside on the for the edge.
In round 6, and we had 2 in round 7 and in 6. JP, these are always your sleepers. You don't really expect them to start. Do you hope that they make the team? Give us a rundown on the last 3 picks.
Yeah, I really like this Devin Neal pick. I thought he was a steal, 5'11", 213, but he's really compact. Very productive for Kansas. Actually, the most productive rusher in Kansas history. The only Jayhawk with over 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Ran a 4.58 at the combine, so doesn't have that jump off the page speed, but he's really tough. Can block and catch the ball, can play all 3 downs. Needed a tight end. This guy, Montevallo, not sure. Didn't see a lot of tape on him yet. I still got to dive into it. But hopefully he can contribute. Obviously, tight end, a spot that the Saints need help at. And then Diggs, the defensive end out of Syracuse. Very athletic. Like the pick, 6'5", 257, so he's got that build. He was honorable mention All ACC 2024 at Syracuse. Another team captain, so he's a good locker room guy, high character guy. Started all 12 regular season games last year at Syracuse. Had 45 tackles, had 14 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks. Did force a fumble, had the fumble recovery, and did a pass breakup. So for the career total, 120 tackles. The production's been there, especially at the edge, and hopefully he can come in and contribute for the Saints.
All right. By the way, some real sad news for Derek Carr's family. They did lose their baby, and of course, a cloud of doubt, and everybody's asking the $64 million question: is he going to be okay? Is the shoulder going to keep him out for the whole year? Kellen Moore, right out of the gate, people asking the question about what's the quarterback situation look like, and probability that we see Derek Carr as the Saints quarterback this year, in your opinion, JP?
Very small, very small. I'm going to say less than 25% that we see Derek Carr be the starting quarterback. Maybe a game towards the end. We'll see how the season plays out, but no, a very small chance in my opinion.
Had some comments from Mickey Lewis. We've got to take our final timeout, and we'll come back to wrap it up on a Tuesday afternoon edition of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
And appreciate all of our local sponsors. Go by and see Devin Holly over at Treads and Care. Don't forget about our friends over at Greystone Golf and Country Club and JP. Boy, I tell you what, there's been a lot of Manda product consumed. Did you think LSU would beat Tennessee 2 or 3, JP?
Complete honesty, yes, I did, bud, man. I thought that they were going to sweep Alabama and then have full steam ahead for Tennessee. Happy they won game 1 for Kate Anderson. Didn't want to give another loss in the season. What a dramatic way to end that game. But, yeah, I had confidence in the Tigers. I believe in Coach Jay Johnson. A very talented team. Happy they got the job done.
You know, after the first 2 games when Tennessee dominated LSU until the ninth inning with the 6 runs, and then on Saturday, quite frankly, a lot of people said their roster's better, they're pitching better, they're hitting better. But, man, oh, man, to come back and steal one Friday night and then have the walk-off and the run rule on Sunday gave LSU fans a little taste of what it's like. And kudos once again to the box. JP, even though there were only 5,000 or 6,000 in the wee hours of the morning on Saturday morning, they make a difference, and just incredible how intimidating they were feeling that. And you know what? If you got to wait 3.5 hours and you go through and you're frustrated because they hadn't scored till the last inning, that's incredible patience and loyalty to stick around.
Yeah, happy for the fans that stuck around. Obviously, what a night to remember. They'll never forget it. I mean, the excitement, the joy, the glee that was in those the faces of the fans, jumping up and down. It was remarkable. Happy for those guys who stuck around. Thank you to the Tiger fans.
Don't forget, LSU softball wraps up their season at Arkansas this weekend, and then the following weekend they have the SEC tournament. LSU baseball tonight, out at the box, 6:30. SEC Network Plus. And then, of course, as we said, if you're traveling to College Station, remember that the senior who had the recipe for ice has graduated. So bring an ice chest. Don't want to get overheated. 6, 2, and 1. 6 on Friday night, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. JP, real quick, can they get 2 or 3 at A&M?
I think they can, but man, A&M, a good team, obviously, but you know, LSU playing very well right now. Trust the pitching, the hitting will come around.
All right, wrapping it up. As always, appreciate all of you tuning in, viewing in. Check us out on YouTube. Have a great day, folks. See you in a couple of weeks right here on Tigers Roar.